All right, welcome to Right Life Draw. I think I left off. This is kind of like the restart of the previous video. I don't know if that'll get uploaded or not, but okay, we're just gonna start from here. These are my. This is just a blue line art board that I use for sketching and doing doodles on and cleaning out my pens. So it has no particular interest at this point with what I'm going to share with you all. Whomever's watching this, and I thank whoever is watching whenever you come to my channel. Hopefully, it'll be an enjoyable experience, and there'll be something here for you to pick up on and adapt to whatever drawings you do, and inspire you to draw if you haven't picked up a pencil and a pen. So this is actually I had to actually do a little research. That's why I had to get off the previous recording I was doing, and I call this the best edited part two. So this is an original drawing that was done in blue pencil. Let's get to this the nitty gritty by a friend and comic book artist out of New York. His name is Carlos Franco, and I have his permission to mention his name. He is a fantastic comic book artist, and just all around great penciler. He does his own inks as well, but he does just fantastic pencils. Normally, he'll do them as you can tell here in graphite, but I think I had specifically commissioned this to be a blue pencil. I think I did. Needless to say, this is from the movie Brave, which I did not remember for some reason. I'm not as well versed in the animated movies that have come out over the last 10 years. I haven't watched them all. So I need to do a little deep dive into those. The character's name is Merida. Again, sorry for the background noise, but there's a lot of people inside the cafe that I'm in. But we'll all work it out together. Um, it was voiced by Kelly McDonald, and it was released on June 5th, 2016. So this character was just delightful, endearing to me and to my child's daughter, which makes her my granddaughter. uh, she may, I don't know if she'll ever get to see this, maybe she will at some point. But this was done with the idea, I commissioned this with the idea that uh, this comic book artist, Carlos Franco. By the way, side note, I keep these boards down usually with this elastic band, but if that doesn't suffice, you can add a piece of blue painter's tape at the corner edges. You don't want to add more than necessary because you're going to have to peel them off slowly without peeling away the paper. Usually, you can do it and it's okay. Nothing will happen to your board. This is a Bristol board. By the way, I should also mention that although I use scrapboard quite a bit for a lot of sketch work, my preferred board to do comic book work in, to ink others' pencils in, whether they're sequential or just a poster image or a single or or a. Uh, I think this is far more than just a. Excuse me, my allergies are acting up still. This is far more than just a pinup. I don't really like pinups. I don't like to look at them. I don't like to draw them, and I don't like to ink them. I'll ink them if I have to, or if I just feel like the penciler is of interest to me. But by and large, they're just boring. Um, I feel that just there's so much real estate on an 11 by 17 Bristol board, especially this beautiful Eon board, where you can actually do some great design work. Obviously, Mr. Franco included Merida, her mother as the bear, stalking werewolf. Look at this. The pixies and the fairies up here as well. Hopefully you can see that. Let me check the view. Yes. And as you can tell here, these are, I think they were done sort of in the style of Cannonball from the New Mutants of the X-Men. I think that was Cannonball, and this might have been Sunspot. Sunspot Pixies. Go figure. Just fantastic layout. He's an incredible storyteller. I highly recommend you commission his work. I'll try to leave his information linked down below. All right. As long as I get his permission first, and then I'll make sure that's linked and attached to this video. Let me go in with a 0.3. No, that might be a little too thick of a broad point. Let's go with this one. This is a zero. I think you can see it there. Double check. Yep, a 0.1. When it comes to his work, I actually do watch which pens I use because it's so detailed. Like, for example, the bow. You can see all the filigree that's attached to the bow. It's just beautiful, beautiful. All right, folks. And none of this involves a ruler at any point, really, except for the arrow, which I've already done. All of this has to be done freehand and with a steady hand and with a whole lot of cursive lines. So let's get to it. And as you can tell, I used a straight line for the actual bowstring. So here we go. Um, I've said in prior videos, let me make sure that I do this. Now, I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I think I saw most of it. I know that sounds, for a lot of it, animation cartoon folks out there like, what? Uh, I'm going to have to sort of guess a little bit at the. I'm going to go with the old adage that I live by when it comes to inking and drawing, actually, which is that form and design is going to follow function, not necessarily the other way around. Again, that's debatable, I'm sure, but that's how I see it. All right. Now, I said no straight lines, right? I do have my trusty French curve, but as you can tell, that's not really going to do me much good here. So this is going to really entail, I can actually use it as a brace for my hand, but I'd rather just go freehand at this. Let me go from the top down. All right. I hope you're all still with me. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to face this right here. Might be a little bit out of view at the end, but it's what I have to do to get the job done. All right, hold on. Let me move some of this, all this equipment to the side because it's getting in the way. I have some loose pins on the table. All right, here we go. Try not to laugh at me, folks. All right. Now you'll notice that I'm going to actually do two lines because with this bow, which is very reminiscent of human flesh musculature, there is a cursive line here that I need to get to. It wouldn't be my inking if it weren't that. All right. Now the foreground, now the background, I think I'm going to have to do with one swoop. Why? I'm going to go over these lines, and I'm going to erase the pencil lines later once the ink dries. But I'm trying to make a point here as to, because I've done it in prior videos. Okay, so now here, we're going to strengthen the line. We're going to make it a little thicker, thin to thick to thin, a cursive line. Why? Because it is the foreground of the drawing of the bow. I'm going to have to be very careful not to overdo it either. So I have to go in with white gouache paint or what is the other tool that I use? Hold on a second, folks. I like to know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. Or I use this one, the Presto whiteout pen. It works just as well, as long as you don't apply a lot of it, so as not to leave there's a concave feel to the bow that he did. And yes, I'm fully aware that all of this could have been scanned and done on a computer. There's no way in hell that I would do that. Though I like my systems, though I have a laptop, though I have an iPad, though I have an iPhone, though I use all those devices, there is no way that I will ever be caught dead inking this beautiful pencil work with anything but my raw, bare hands. You see what he did here, right? He created a stacking for the. Are we all okay for time? Yeah, we're good for time. Now, as I think, hopefully, Los will be watching this at some point. Carlos, Mr. Franco will be seeing this, so I'll let him know when it's And I want to be a little loose with some of the details. I'm not trying to make these perfectly exact because at the end of the day, though I've inked his stuff before, his pencil work, and I'm used to just this massive amount of detail that he beautifully delineates, puts into his artwork. I still want to have a little bit of freedom, not to embellish per se, because that would mean that I'm changing the drawing because it wasn't fully drawn. He draws everything very fully. I just want to be able to have some flexibility in my inking. Um, like this here, let me show you something here. Okay, let's see. So this is the, some people would darken this up with just a couple of strokes and use a brush. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather go in for the actual little dots, details. This is not, for those who know in comics who Jack Kirby is and his artwork, these are not Kirby dots. They are a way to show the wooden base that is here for that the bow is made out of. That's one of the things that Mr. I'm not used to calling him Mr. but Mr. Franco does. I guess I should because this is a video that will go up on the airwaves and keep it all very pro. But he is a friend and a fantastic. Um, I literally just look up to him. He's just a wonderful, wonderful penciler, inker. I've seen his inks too. They're fantastic. I thought, boy, if anybody could give some of the other pros a run for their money, it's Mr. Franco. So this video is going to be about this character Merida from Brave. Beautiful movie, and of course, look at this filigree. Almost. Let me blow on that. Make sure it dries up first. This is so beautiful. I'm so honored to be able to ink. Okay, now here I'm going to go in with a very thin. I could use a brush, but that would actually, it might overlap and go beyond the two lines that I set for myself. I wanted to give the bow a definition that was solid, but I wanted that to be at the forefront. That is going to be the thicker line. And on the back, we're going to leave that as a thin line. So let me go in here. I got to tell you all the story if you're up for it. Hold on a second. Let me check the time for us. Might have to do this in two steps. Yeah. All right, folks. Let's bow out of this one. And please, on the way out, if you'd be so kind, if you enjoyed any part of this video and what I'm bringing to you, hopefully a little bit of joy, a little bit of knowledge, and a whole lot of fun. Again, give it a thumbs up, leave a like, share the video, leave a comment, preferably 7 words long or longer for the algorithm. They actually look at all that stuff. And subscribe to the channel. Again, Right Life Draw. And I will see you all on part 2 of Brave on the next one. Bright Moments. See ya.